Alright, so I'm going to be playing some Skull, the Hero Slayer. And this is a roguelite. I'm not a huge roguelike player, but this game really hit it off with me. And I feel like I needed to give it a shout out more than anything. This is only going to be a one shot. It might be a bit longer than a normal episode. I try to edit down to be around 30 minutes or lower, but this one might be a little bit of a high runner. I'm going to just really show off features of the game, and I'm going to do a whole run and just see where I get. So Skul is a very indie darling game to me. I mean, I don't play many roguelites, and I'm not all that good of a platformer in a sense, because I just haven't got the twitch reflexes that one needs to be excellent at a platformer. But with roguelikes like this, you do get the option to kind of overpower the game with technical thinking or outplay opponents kind of thing. Like, you know, you can get really overpowered. And that allows you to get to the end. But I still think even with like some of the more powerful builds, there's a degree of having to be tactful and know when to use characters correctly. As you can see, I have all the NPCs in this area because I have completed the game. I've not maxed out everything yet. I've gotten the most useful skills from the witch over there. One of them being that you can sell items, and one of them being that you can revive after dead. So I actually do have 2 lives, which is something you don't get coming into this, and I wasn't good at this game when I came into it. It took me 30 deaths to defeat the boss, and I don't know if that's good, I don't know if that's bad. I'm on my 50 something death at this point. I often run through the game expecting not to win because I just want to level up skulls and and I'm kind of doing the achievement for the skulls because that's content to me. Like, I enjoy that. So there was 3 NPCs there. They each give you a starting gift. One of them gives you skulls, one of them gives you items, and one of them gives you a small buff. I've got a shield buff, so this beginning area is going to be a bit of a cakewalk. So it'll allow me to really show off some of the skulls of this game. And I'm going to just show off as many as I can to begin with. And I'll go, eventually a build will just work itself out as I go along. So as you can see, you have a bunch of items in here. You get 9 standard items which to make your build around. You get a quintessence, which is basically an extra utility skill. Characters, as they get rarer, get more skills. Every character starts off reasonably low at the beginning, and so I've got just a common character up there, and he can be turned to a rare, unique, and then into a legendary. You can pick up ones of all the spectrum as you go along. Skul, the boy over there, he can't be upgraded, but he's actually really interesting utility to use early game on. But yeah, I don't have any plans or intentions. Obviously here I have the explosive ointment and some quarks, which is just a straight up HP buff, and one does poison, so that's pretty neat. He's just a standard NPC. Like, a lot of the monster NPCs are actually talkable. A lot of them do nothing at the beginning other than established context. See, this guy does established context for the forest. I'm going to be picking a lot of skull gates because that's the thing. You can have the option sometimes to go through a gate, and you can either pick to go through one that has skulls, or you can pick to have one that has treasure or whatnot. I'm going to pick a lot of skull gates to get off with because I want to show off skulls. And right now I'm sporting the sword skull. He's decent. He does bleed, which works on everything but bosses, and he upgrades into a pretty badass. And then I'm running with Skull as well. So as you can see, this is just one of those bare bones. You get a room to the theming of set area that you're in, and you'll just keep progressing through the game as is until you get into the more complicated areas, which I'll cover when I get to them. See how long we get. I imagine I'll get to the end zone. Why not? I'm okay at this game, and the fact that I've got the starting gifts means that a lot I can just kind of like speed through a bunch of stuff without really having to worry. When you first hit this game, you are going to die an awful lot, especially if you're not used to platforming roguelikes like this. I wasn't. I'm a bit of a platformer. I mean, I grew up with platforming games. I grew up in the 2D age of video games, but I don't know, I think as you get older, you get worse at games if you don't keep up with it. I think if you want to be a competitive gamer, then that's one thing, but I'm the most casual fuck gamer in the world. I just like playing games, so anything you like doing, you get a lot of... There's sometimes a guy here, that's why I jumped over. God, this game looks gorgeous as well. This is the thing, like, I'm very much an aesthetic guy, so the fact that the options you get in this game aren't just a item in your inventory that goes, yeah, you got this, and then you get like a floating gamuffing around you. Oh, I've got the thief here. I'm gonna go for the thief. He's good. I like him alright. I think I'll probably. I kind of want to keep hold of Skul for a little bit longer, because just to show him off, because his utility stuff's really interesting. So, I mean, we've seen Blade. I'll probably just take the thief. Yeah, I'll just take the thief and just destroy Blade. And there you go, I destroyed the Blade for bone fragments, and then I can go forward with him, and I maybe upgrade the thief later on, because he's quite cheap to upgrade, because he's just a common Skul. But yeah, like I say, even if you're not too great at platforming, if you start getting the more you play this game, the more you get used to the character's skills. And as I say, Thief had that teleport just there, and Skul is actually pretty damn good for crowd control early on, and he has a lot of interesting utilities with his skull toss ability, because his whole shtick is that, oh, he has this skull and he throws it at people, does magic damage, and then you can like teleport over to wherever you threw the skull. So you can see why he'd be so useful late game, where you're trying to do some like real speed tactics, or you're trying to traverse or even bypass enemies. There was definitely stages later on where you can just simply bypass a whole bunch of enemies just with Skul's ability. I'm probably not going to do that because I want to show off stuff in this game, but we'll see how it goes. As you see, you've got a diverse type of enemies. They're all plant-based enemies in the forest, and then you've got the soldiers as well, because they were invading the forest in order to take out the Monster Kingdom, which is ruled by the Demon Lord, who is this cute little boy who is a new Demon Lord, and he's trying to make peace, but something went wrong, and the first hero went apeshit, started a war on us. You know, it's a nice role reversal, and it has very much airs of that Eastern, like almost anime kind of style of like heroes, where you've got the sword hero, the bow hero, the paladin, the priest, and then the first hero is just this like real big badass. Ow, I just got hit there. But a real big badass, and you can become extremely badass by the time the end game ends, and that's really cool to me. And the fact that you have such diversity in the builds you get, from the fact that you pick up heads and you can adopt that head's traits, it's, I don't know, it just screams out to me, and it has such style. As I said, we're going into the shop right here actually, which is pretty neat. This is basically the respite area. Here's the food, you can get life back. The worst food item in the game is the pineapple pizza, because no one likes pineapple on pizza. I guess that's a joke the developers are making. It still heals you though, it's just the fact that it gives you a debuff as well. And these are items you can pick up. Obviously they cost gold, so this is the utility of gold. There's also the head guy up there, who you can swap out a unit for a different unit. Sometimes he has some pretty decent stuff up here. I've never seen him with a legendary, but it could happen. So there was actually a net benefit to swapping out Skul here, because Skul doesn't destroy for any bones. So if you're trying to upgrade somebody on the path, Skul doesn't help in that in any way. So I'm probably going to swap out Skul here to have the knight, show off the knight, and then this guy will take Skul off our hands and we'll go with the knight. And even if I don't want the knight later on, I can destroy him and get an upgrade bones or whatever it is. I might... I'm not sure what I want here. I'd say I'm not going for anything particular, and right now anything that's just kind of generic will be helpful, so I'm probably just going to kick up the shield, because it's just a direct damage reduction. And now we've got the first hero fight, which is a singular hero, and today it's the priest. So that's interesting. She's not that bad when it comes to the first person you fight. The first ever person you get here is the novice sword hero, but I think the priest isn't actually that much worse, because she's more worse when she's in a party of other people. If she shows up later and she's with someone else, she basically becomes a DPS check to see if you can get rid of her fast enough that before the other person kills you. I haven't got anything too interesting going on with my skulls right now, so I'm just kind of slashing away at her, hoping that I can take out her health before she lands a lucky hit on me. Thief is probably actually better than this fight. There's a person that I started watching when I really started getting into this game called Benzit, and I think it's Benzit. Belzit. I think it's Belz, or oh, Alchemist. I might go with the Alchemist for a bit. I might swap out the Thief and have a go with him. But yeah, he does these builds and he does gimmick stuff throughout the things, and I really enjoy his stuff because he is a actually good player at this game. So if you want to check out somebody who just kind of like steamrolls the game and actually takes on really fun challenge runs and does streaming of it, he's the guy to follow. I'll link him in the description because he's great. And he's not a very big channel, and I think any support that even if a smaller channel like this one can throw his way, I think is worth it. So this is Upgrade Waifu. She's the spider, you know, the arachnid, very stereotypical of Japanese and Eastern style genre. This is a Korean game, so it's interesting that they seem to see all the same tropes. I mean, Korea's getting some stuff coming out recently, like not just games, but also manhwas and stuff like that. So I upgraded the knight just to show off the upgraded knight. I probably won't keep him, but it doesn't really matter because you're spending 10 skulls and then you can get those 10 skulls back from him later on. The only people that aren't a net benefit for that are uniques and higher because you just see less back. But I spent 10 and I'll probably see 11 back from him. I'm pretty sure that's how he functions. So now that I have this guy, I did show it off in the gate back there, but when I use my soldier guy, he just sticks around and keeps shooting. So, and he can get many different skills. He can get a bunch of skills where he summons a big guy, a big chungus, 2 little soldiers. So he's really useful. And I've also got the fire potion with the alchemist here, which is one of the better potions. I like the poison one because I like it putting debuffs on all the enemies, but the fire one is just straight up damage. So I think it can burn. I'm not sure I've ever seen it burn, but as you upgrade, that obviously gets more powerful. I'm just kind of hammering away at the enemies here. So, yeah, I'll just kind of go forward until we get to like a boss or something, I suppose. Or anything interesting happens. What item is this? Magic, I'll take it, it's better than nothing. Oh, this is actually kind of an interesting room because you can see the enemies have a buff on them. There's actually a totem. Oh, there it is. There's actually a totem that show up in these rooms, and they can give you the buff if you destroy them. And that's giving me regen, which, you know, is fine. I'm not even going to touch the wood skull. I'm just not a fan of the wood skull. I mean, at some point I'm going to have to level it up, but you know. Oh, I got a quintessence as well, which is, you can see it here, like, it gives you an extra utility, which is the point of the quintessences. I think I explained it earlier, but this one freezes enemies, which is really, really good early game, I find, especially for the way I play. I'm quite gimmicky. No matter what I play, I like playing gimmicky stuff. I don't know what it is. I'm just a bit of a troller like that, I suppose. But, you know, I hate those ninja guys. But so you get an extra utility with that. As you upgrade enemies or you get like rarer skulls, you'll find you'll get more utilities. Just going to keep picking skull rooms. And so, technically speaking, you could get 2 skills on the skulls later on in the game, and most likely you'll see that. But yeah, let's say the freezing is going to be really useful for when I fight like other heroes or if I fight like tougher enemies. Ooh, bigger bone bar, better bones. So yeah, the bone bar at the end shows that the rarity that you're going to get when you open up the bones. It's kind of like a cool kind of anticipation thing. I like it. It's very gimmicky. So this is a rare. Yeah, rare. It's Rider. And Rider is just a rip-off of Hell Rider, to be honest. I mean, I'm not rip-off. They're almost the skulls in this, apart from the bare bones soldier skulls, are all parodies of some other thing in fiction. You pretty much get game crossover stuff going on in here, which is really fascinating and it's just fun, to be honest. You can tell the people who made this game are a fan of these style of games. But yeah, this is it's basically he's Hell Rider. He's got a motorcycle. I'm pretty sure he evolves to having like a flaming head and he uses chains. So, you know, pretty, you know, edgy boy metal. Oh, and we're to the boss fight now. This would be a fun time to show off Rider. he's going to be a bit weird against this boss because he's very mobile. So we got Big Chungus Idrisil here. He's a cutie pie. Look at him. Oh, he's a fun boss. This boss is a check to see if you've got dodging down, basically. Which, you know, I think the bosses are very good for that. They're all kind of like checking to make sure you've hit in a certain progress bar, and they're all going to stump you until you get that progress bar down. Ow. I say this, and then I'm kind of just tanking through stuff because I've got loads of HP, which is not like the correct way, really. You want to be adequately dodging, basically. I'm just going to spam down his thing with Alchemist Flame. But you really want to get the dodging down, so that's another Alchemist passive skill. You can see the bar below his HP. When that builds up, a little demon shows up. But yeah, there you go. It wants you to learn timing on like dodging, to know that you need to be dodging before the attack's about to land. And again, these are like dodging tests, or jumping tests, depending on what you want to be doing. Me failing both of those. Luckily, I have two pretty decent skulls, so that went out pretty quickly. You might also notice the gears on the floor. They help recharge my cooldown. They're just on one of my utilities. Magitech thingy mabob. He gives you a health buff and he gives you a magic thing. It's fine. I've got a magic user. Hell, the rider actually uses some magic, so that's not too bad on one of his skills, so he's okay with that. So at the moment it's looking very magic-y. If I was going to make a decision at this point, I would be going towards magic. And now we're into the next step, which is like the castle palace area. I'm just going to skip right across Arachne because she's down there. Sorry, I haven't got the bones to do anything, so I'm not going to bother talking to her just yet. Next stage, I promise we'll have a chit chat and have a little date next time, Arachne, I swear. Oh god. And this is one of the first stages they give me on this one, just to show off how nuts this second stage is compared to the last one. They just literally stick you in a room with a lot of really scary mobs, and if you didn't know what you were doing, you'd just be messed up in this room. You cannot face tank, really. You have to be watching out for like mob cues. And this boy's back. I don't care anymore. I've already used him once. We're going to go on to the next one, and I'll see what happens until I get an interesting into souls. Oh, also traps. This area is quite big on its traps, being relatively discreet, actually. And it just upgraded enemies, really. You got the knights that are a bit more persistent. You got spear guys who have some annoyingly good reach. The archers will do a jump back dodge. The trap hit me. You got these random traps here that you can destroy, so that's not too bad. Yeah, just everything's just a slight upgrade. And the big boys in this stage are particularly annoying. What have we got? Oh, Ghoul. I'm not a huge fan of Ghoul, but I kind of want to show him off because he's one of the more interesting gimmicky characters, so I'll swap him for Alchemist and we'll see how it goes. He's just a big boy. He eats meat. Get bigger. Oh, but we have got Cryo Stout up there, and the Palmer here. I definitely want this because it's one of the best defensive items that I've come across, so I'm probably going to sell something off so I can get that. Probably don't need the straight up magic buff if I'm going to be getting this. It's probably going to be better net beneficial. Yeah, the Paladin's Palmers or whatever it's called gives you a straight up shield and will block incoming attacks from the front, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean that's probably blasphemy swapping Ryder for this to anyone who's kind of into this game because Ryder is that good, but I want to show off Cryos, and I've not really played that much with this with the Ice Skull, so I'm really intrigued to see how he plays because I think I picked him up once or twice, but usually I just ignore him for better skulls. But I wouldn't mind upgrading him actually because I don't think I've ever upgraded the Ice Skull. This room's a trap room, so I'm probably just going to abuse the traps just to kill the enemies, because thankfully the traps do kill enemies and they're just straight up immune to it. But this is what I mean about doing gimmicky stuff in this game. You can get away with being really kind of gimmicky and just outthinking your opponents, which is something I love about roguelites when they do it correctly. But a lot of them are just, you know, about playing well. Whereas in this one, you can play lame and win games, so I'm a fan of that stuff. Oh, alright, so this is a bit more interesting room than I thought it was going to be, and I can show up my ice score a little bit here. So you've got the totem here, which gives you a straight up health barrier, which is really, really good. I mean, I think it only lasts one of the stages, but it's still really good, because you just get, look, just an extra 30 health on there. I think I already had a health barrier, so it added to that. And then I'm my big boy Ghoul as well. He's decent, he does damage, and his whole gimmick is he eats this meat and he gets big. But yeah, as you can see, he grows big. He's funny, but he just takes so many hits because of how huge he is, and I don't think he gets much in the way of reduced defense. But he is a power type, so there's a lot of defense reduction for power types. And this is one of the NPCs. I think this is the first NPC in level that I've met. I really like the shaman. He's super cool. His design's great. He's like an ice wolf shaman thing, or a mist walker, and he just gives you a straight up buff. I think it's forever. I just buffs you forever. It's super cool. So there is like things like that with just net benefits throughout the game. I see more NPCs in this area than I do in the early area. Maybe I'm missing them in the early area. I don't know. I don't know what the chances are for them showing up. The cool thing about Cryos here, or like, I keep calling him Cryos because fucking Killer Instinct, but because that's what he looks like to me. But I think he's Ice Skull, but he's actually really synchronized with what the items I have right now, because I not only have the freeze item, but he freezes, so I can pretty much perpetually keep enemies frozen. So I'm really enjoying him actually. I didn't give him much like leeway to. Oh look, it's the Determination, which I'm pretty sure is an Undying reference from Undertale, but I'm not sure. It looks like it, doesn't it? Like, the fact that it's called Determinated, like Knight's Determination, and it looks like that, it just screams of Undying, doesn't it? I've actually got quite a lot of magic and Sagosty in this build, so might be going magic, and so it means Ghoul's going to say goodbye. And here we have second hero fight, and here, like I was saying earlier, here is the healer. She's showing up where she's not wanted. She's annoying, and she is a DPS check at this point, because she will just keep healing the ninja, and the ninja stays hidden long enough that I feel like the healing is going to be really effective on him, unless he has to be on screen. I'm not sure. I don't know the indirect mechanics of that. My Paladin's Polar's actually stopping a lot of damage in this fight as well, because the ninja keeps running into it, which is really helpful for me. And you'll see how much damage the Ghoul takes just from everything. I'll try my best to avoid stuff. Oh, that was lucky. I try my best to avoid stuff, but I tell you, man, he just takes so many hits. Oh, good, she's gone. It makes the fight substantially easier now. And then my Ice Skull is going to be doing some work. Thinking about it, the Ghoul might be a reference to wherever his face is from Overwatch, because he's got the hook and the big eggs and he's big and chubby. He also kind of looks like a panda. I don't really know if that's a thing. I think he's a Cyclops. Well, that went reasonably smooth. I actually came out of that with decent life. Ooh, Genie. Genie has some magic, but no, he's balanced. I won't bother with the bone. Will I? No. I won't. If I get a mana bone, that'd be brilliant, but I don't really need the swift bone. So we'll have a mess around with Genie, and I think we've got enough skulls. I noticed that my character is covering up the skulls in the bottom corner. I'm sorry. You'll see it when I get to when the map comes out. But yeah, I had enough skulls to upgrade him, so ooh, he looks pretty neat. And he's got his second skill, which is, I don't know what that is. I think it makes a giant glacier. I should have put my head up in the top right, but it's too late now. I've already started playing and I'm not stopping. You got these guys with slow moving projectiles. They're annoying. Wow, with the glacier and the projectiles, the Ice Skull is actually incredibly wonderfully spammy, which is some of my big favourites. The Genie is pretty bare bones. And his skill is lame as well. His skill is just I jump in my lamp and I hide for 2 minutes and then I attack. Not his. I don't know what skills he's got. I've not messed around with the genie that much. At some point I'll need to upgrade him, but he's got the. I don't particularly want to release the peasants because it's going to be annoying. Can I get you trapped? Yeah. Oh, maids. Maids are the worst. They summon other maids and they're always annoying. I don't really know a good way of dealing with them, quite honestly. Other than just, you know, smash them out of here. And deal, you know, a skeleton worth of damage. Water Skull. He does magic damage. I'm not particularly attached to the genie. I might take him for a spell. I don't use him that often. I think he's a bit clunky. But, you know. It's funny, he actually looks a lot like a genie as well. I'll take that as well, why not? Extra money. That's all that item was. It's like you earn more money. Yeah, Water Guy, he's got his... I think that's the splash move. Yeah, it's not bad. It does just a chunk of damage. I Skull better. There's a power totem there. You can see why the archers are annoying in this stage. The fact that they jump back. And spear guys, they're also being annoying. I'm not sold on the water one. If I come to something better, I'm definitely going to change him out. But he is what he is. You know, probably should take out the healer first in this room. I probably could have abused the traps that way. I'll kill the thing with the trap. Again, I could probably abuse the traps here. Yeah. But yeah, you should always. I always try to take out healers first because they just prolong the rooms, and you're just going to take more damage. And we've got another NPC, which is Painter, Mirror Dude. I think he's a painter. I'm not too sure. He says it's a sword, but I guess maybe is that the painting talking? I'm not too sure. But anyway, he'll give you an item if you give him money, and usually it's better. It's rare or higher, so it's not too bad. Bow, I don't think I'm full yet, so you know, why not? I like him. He's alright. He's cute looking. He's a bit hobbity. I'm not sure how he counts as a monster. I'm probably going to get rid of Ointment, I think, because it's not doing much for me right now, and the projectile increase would probably be better, especially with the fact that my Ice Skull has projectiles. Yeah, it's going to be Ointment. Ugh. I didn't care for that room. Another rare. Oh, it's Bomber Boy. I like Bomber Skeleton. He's like one of my big favourites. I've yet to fully upgrade him, but he's so much fun. He just explodes and then he swaps you out. I don't know, there's something about him that is absolutely charming. Obviously he's supposed to be Bomberman, but his second stage make him sound like an action hero, and I'm really curious to see what he looks like when he's in his legendary. From what I hear, in the original, all the basic souls didn't have like legendary forms. You couldn't upgrade them, so I think the upgrading's original to the actual full release, which is super badass. So here we are, we're at the Sisters fight. This is a real stopgap. This is the one where it's like, do you know how to play the game reasonably competently? This is the boss for you, and yeah, I got stuck here for a while myself. Probably about 10 lives worth from this boss at least. Probably a bit more actually, considering it took me 30 to win the game, so I'm pretty sure they probably took out more on the way, because sometimes I just don't come here and I just don't do enough damage, and so I just take it out. Bomber guy runs around. You have to wait for the timer to run out, but you can put bombs around to increase the damage radius. So as you can see, they both have life bars. You're taking these life bars down. I'm not actually doing that much damage in this boss fight, but you're taking the life bars down slowly but surely. There is a mechanic, because there's a stage 2 of this boss, spoilers. Wow, it's really annoying. Whenever they do their swipes like that and it's like across the floor, it's extra annoying to dodge. It's all repetition and learning. But yeah, as I was saying, there is a stage 2 to this boss fight, and the stage 2, one of them like basically does the Dark Souls thing of they're getting the strength off their ally, and so you really kind of want to have both, depending on which stage you prefer. You want to get the health down of both of them equal. I think the first stage is way easier than the second stage for avoiding damage, but so I usually just kind of get both down reasonably a lot, and then I can concentrate on the last boss just dealing out damage. She's not that bad to avoid. I mean, the first, you're not avoiding two of them anymore, so I don't know. Pick and choose, I guess. But you'll see when we get there. So one of the sisters is quite low now, so I kind of want to focus on the other sister. And from my understanding, they swap out each time they come out by themselves, and the other one goes back for a little rest. Goes back to make a cup of tea for the Lord back there, who's also kind of, you know, the Dr. Robotnik warrior type over there. What a glorious mustache he has. Yeah, now they're both back in, but I have dished down that one quite a lot. It might be worth just going into stage 2 at this point. But if I can, I'm going to do a bit more damage to the other one. Oh, maybe they don't then, because maybe the one with the most life comes out, because I'm pretty sure I fought this one twice. I'm not sure. Again, annoying. I wish they'd swipe and vertical. It might be because I was moving when she used it. There might be a tack to that. And my Paladin Poldos is actually doing a lot of defending for me. So I'm saving a lot of damage by facing my opponent. Because that's how that defense thing works. There we go. There's one down. And look, she's got almost no life. So this is really ideal for the situation I prefer. And now she's punished, sister. Yeah, she's got dark energy that does things now. Again, you just kind of have to know what's happening. The more you play, the more you know. There's no real laming this one out, actually. This is a proper skill test. You have to know how to dodge correctly, how to dodge through skills. Although you can get away with not dodging through skills for the most part on this one and just avoiding attacks. Which I guess that's the point, is that you avoid attacks. But you can definitely take advantage to invincibility frames in this boss if you know what you're doing. Like here, this is where you can take advantage of invincibility frames, but I just lucked out with where they put me then. I'm almost got her. I'll probably just blast her now. There we go. Yeah, I died a lot on this boss first going through, and like I say, I am starting out as an advantage because I have unlocked a hell load of stuff from the witch, and that just immediately makes the game easier going in. And I came into the game with extra bones and stuff. Ooh, imp. The ice has been really good, but I think imp's better because it does quite a good amount of damage, and it reduces cooldown, I think. I don't know, but reduced cooldown is going to be good for my skills because I love spamming my skills. Can I upgrade? I don't think so. No, I think I'm shy. Sorry. I promise I'll bring some next time, honey. And now we're into the dungeon. Like, so this is the laboratory / dungeon level. There was a bunch of new traps in this area, which aren't nearly as bad as the traps from the last area, because they're not nearly as discreet. But the gimmick of this area is enemies like to explode. And also just swarm out of the ceilings. So, and there's background elements. Oh, I'll take the heal actually. That's really useful. There's background elements of this level that if you destroy them, they spawn more enemies that like to explode. Like there's a ghost that came out of a jar, and you'll notice that some of the enemies are monsters, and I'm assuming they've been enslaved by like all the dark crystals, just like Yggdrasil was. Which is story elements. You have to play it, and you have to buy the game and play for the story if you want to know that. I'm not giving that away. Alright. I don't know how far we're going to get in this run. I'm hoping we'll get to the last stage, but I'm also kind of not worried about getting to the last boss. But if I can get to Joan, that would be nice. What have we got? Mummy. Mummy's a big favourite of mine because he's just a Metal Slug character. I don't know whether or not they're just a huge fan of Metal Slug, because I'm a massive fan of Metal Slug. But sorry, Bomb, it's not it's not going to be your run today. I'll definitely come back and level up one. But I really liked Mummy. Not only has he got some of the best projectiles, he's going to work really well with my thief armor that I got earlier on, which lets me throw shurikens when I attack. And he's also got the grenades, which is my favourite thing he's got because it's very spammy. And now I've got 2 balanced skeletons, so if I do come across a mana bone later down the line, that's going to be super sick. Alright, yeah, but when he gets to his next stage, which I will totally level up Mummy at least once, and I'll gladly spend the bones I have already to get Skeleton next stage, because he gets ammo drops like in Metal Slug. So he gets like shotgun and machine gun and rocket launcher, which is just charming. And who we got here? Oh, we've got the warrior, which is just Kratos with a big sword. His design is just Kratos, but I'll show him off a little bit. He's a power type. He's just really slow. He's not really, for me, I don't think he's worth his weight in marrow. I'd rather just sacrifice him in order to get more bones. I will have to do a run of him at some point, but I don't know, he's not one of my big favorites, and I don't really feel the need to play him on camera, so because it's just going to be embarrassing. So I'm going to go back to Mummy. Oh, I didn't actually describe what these alchemist dudes in here are doing and who the alchemists are, but here they're trying to summon some homunculi monster. From my understanding, they like the homunculi are like weird spirits that they summon, but like they were experimenting on normal monsters, so it's kind of weird that they summon these crystal spirits. I guess that's where they get the quarks from. The black stuff is from summoning those monsters. They also like to throw stuff at you, so they're just annoying. What the hell is this? Eating it anyway. What we got this room? Watery again, don't need that. What? No, I don't need troll. But I do want mana bone. I have 2 balance types, and these are probably going to be my running characters for the entire run at this point to show off how good things can get. And having a mana bone with 2 balance types is amazing. I think it's time to lose determination with bow. It's the bow synergizes with the Mummy a lot, so yeah, health actually. I think it's health time. Alright, now time for another stopgap. This is the 3rd hero fight, and it is now 3 heroes. Thankfully I haven't got the healer in this fight because it makes this fight a completely different beast, but I do have 2 annoying projectile spammy characters in the form of the thief and the archer. The paladin's just going to sit there and do stuff. Quite honestly, I'm not good enough at the game to be dodging everything, so I'm just going to try and DPS and spam the hell out of these characters now that I have the mana bone. It makes it an actual plausible plan. I just kind of went into the thing there, and I'm just going to try and stop them from doing any moves. And I just murdered the archer, and I just murdered the paladin, so this plan is working. So you can see how like spammy and ridiculous you can get with some of the stuff you pick up. Ooh, Minotaur. Those cogs I was picking up as well as part of like the Magitech skill that's on some of the items that lets your cooldown reduce faster. I don't really want anything here, but I wouldn't mind showing off the Minotaur, and he's going to give me 11 skulls, 11 bones, which is going to help because I do want to get Mummy up to at least level 2, and I do want to get my Ice Skull up to Legendary if I can by the 3rd stage. So let me swap out this quickly just to show him off. He's a big boy. He's better than Skul in my opinion. He's got some rush moves, but I haven't really played around with him a lot, and I don't really think he's suitable for the stuff we've got at the moment. So yeah, he's neat, but not when I've got 2 perfectly good balanced skeletons. Alright, okay, I do have something to give you, lady. Pick me up, Buttercup. I want to make my skeleton to Metal Slug level of Mummy, even. But yeah, let's do it. I've got 80. I think it's worth it. I think I'll get 100 by the time we meet. Maybe not the second one, but the third one definitely for my ice dude. Yes, please. Build me up, Buttercup. Yeah! And you'll see it in a minute, but I get ammo drops now. Look at that with the shurikens. He works so well with that, and I've got increased projectiles. So even if I just do lots of magic buff stuff, he'll still be quite good. Oh, and there's a health box up there, and there's also another NPC there. I don't want to mess around with the summon, so I was just taking them out before I go for the health buff. Oh, and these guys here, these guys like to run in and hit you and then explode. And there's my items, and you'll see what I mean. Machine gun. It's just a Metal Slug character at this point. I'm pretty sure he keeps it after swapping as well, which makes him infinitely just better. He does, that's excellent. Machine gun. I love how it's just the sound effects as well from Metal Slug. The sound design is brilliant in this game. It's got good backing sounds for every stage, so they're not all different. So this dude's like the remaining one. He's a skeleton. If you give him a bit of life, he'll give you a skeleton. He's giving me Minotaur, which is fine because I only wanted it for the skeleton bones anyway. But yeah, the ambiance music here as well is amazing. You've got the cool background. You can see how this is like the dark reaches of like the palace. More skulls, please. And sound design is just good. Everything feels so nice when you hear it. As you can see, this is a horrific trap room. I could let the traps take care of enemies. If I go to the end and kill the alchemist, the traps stop. Nothing too grandiose is going to happen in here. And I was just saying nothing interesting was going to happen on this floor. But look, we've got another NPCs. I think she's an ice maiden, or maybe a bug, or an ice golem. Ooh, rocket launcher. Let's release her up. So this game changes your skills up for some money. I don't want to do it with Cryos because Cryos is the best stuff, but just to show it off, I've just done it with Mummy. I've kept my grenade, which I'm thankful for because I think they're the best skill, and I gained the knife, which is actually a really quite good DPS skill, so that's going to be useful when we get to the boss. Man, they really want me to have the Minotaur, but I just don't want it. Man, I have totally changed my opinion on the Ice Skull. With the Mana Bone and having his ice launches and his ice kind of like blizzard. Can I get up there with my jump? I doubt I can. I think I need a skull for that now. But with his stuff, he is so wonderfully spammy. I'm not dealing with this. I'm just going to get through this for the damage. It's worth it. Oh, we've got another NPC here. It's the Harpy. Who I really like the Harpy. She's one of the better ones, especially early game, but right now she's giving me what I want, which is more bones. It's going to get me up to 100 maybe? Be nice. Those enemies just killing themselves down there. Yes, got up to 100, that's really nice, so I'm going to max that out. Do I need to kill these enemies? I don't think I do. Harpy's design's really neat. I think her wings are on her arms, Rito style. It's pretty cool. No, I need to kill these enemies. Sometimes you have enemies that you don't actually have to kill. I don't want to go down there, so I'm just going to let them kill themselves. Play lame, win game. Okay, we're at the next boss here. I'm not going to give you the context for this boss. It's a big monster. That's all you really need to know. If you want to see the funny context of this boss, you should play the game and buy it. But I'm sure there is a good strategy for fighting this boss. Mine is not the good strategy. Mine is go in and out damage the boss. He'll spawn ads, he'll hit you and stuff like that. But I'm pretty confident that I can spam my moves to victory here. And every now and then insert a dodge. And just try and avoid damage, but mostly I'm just going to be going in, spamming all my moves, so Mana Bone keeps activating. And machine gunning him to death. And I also have imps, which is, as I say, another good quintetus utility that does some reasonable damage. I think I've been alright for damage. I know roughly where to dodge, but I still just haven't got the timing down for this boss because there is so much going on in the screen all the time. I'm not really sure. But from what I understand, I don't know why you'd want to be on the left side of the screen against this boss at all. You can at least see his attacks happening, so you can dodge them effectively. Whereas he spawns so much stuff on the right hand side, and I'm pretty sure his bite doesn't reach you there, only your stomp. So I'm just gonna stay close and keep pressing buttons. That's how I play. Yep, nothing but skill. But this does mean, oops, some life, and I don't want this, I don't think. Yeah, this is like a dash improver. I don't think I'm going to keep it. Swap it straight back and then destroy it. But this does mean that after each boss, they kindly give you another renaissance with the Arachne. Also, God, the theme of this is so cool. The fact that you can see that this is like a refuge jump for all the unwanted experiments from up above, and it's clearly connected to the palace in some really macabre kind of way, and you can see kind of like just the refuge down here. Alright, baby, I've got some sweet sugar money for you. Give me that sicko legendary ice skull. Very cool. Wow, he's actually awesome. He's just got like the dual swords instead of like the pointy hands. And he's just like a actual skull made of ice. He's got a little laurel as well. And he's frozen soul. So he's actually supposed to be kind of like a spirit now. So here we are. We're up at the fortress. And this is kind of religious themed. This guy just hangs around. He likes being on the spike. He told me so. Wow, he just freezes the entire screen. That's super cool. Look how big his attacks are now. And I could really use that heal. So yeah, there's a lot of enemies here. This is the one that makes or breaks you, really. Like, you're going to lose a lot of HP going for this area if you haven't got good crowd control stuff. I could be benefiting from some different skills here. If I get to the shop and I have the opportunity, I might pick up stuff just for like necromancy, so I can do some extra collateral damage. Machine gun. Ooh boy, we got some good shit right here, and I'm gonna have to make some decisions. I really want the Magus Rod. Determination is gonna go, I think, because that's low health stuff. I mean, I'm going to be at low health at some point in this run, because I can't see myself getting past Joan at this state. But I've got a lot of defensive items, so maybe I drop Mirror. Because this is another defensive item, which I think I'm just going to straight up replace Mirror with. Because this gives you health when you drop low, and it's also got Necromancer on it, so... I actually meant to drop Mirror, but oh well. I don't need money all that bad. I'll be really tanky now, which is all good. Well, we're really starting to see some of the trials and tribulations of this stage now, and I'm down to 25 health, so I've still got an extra life, because I purchased that from the Witch Lady, so when I die I will come back with a percentage of my life back. But it's looking pretty dire, because I've got another hero fight to get through. But you can start seeing how some of the enemies get particularly rough. But my Necromancy is coming really helpful, because every time I kill an enemy, an AoE, well, a small ball comes out. Yeah, a white ball, and it just hits the enemy for some damage, which is nice. But you get a lot of these bullet heavy enemies now on this stage, and it's getting, I'm going to say, it's getting pretty tight. Oh, and this is what a legendary looks like. So it's going to be a really primo Skul in here, and it's probably going to be all glowy and shiny. So, yep, and we've got the Gambler, which he is balanced, so he is good, but I really like the Mummy. I'll show off the Gambler. I really should probably swap to him, but I just want to keep going the Mummy because I enjoy playing as him. And if the Gambler didn't have Roulette Reel, which I think is quite weak because it only kind of hits one area, technically it'd be good for the Joan fight, but not so good for the whatever fight we're coming up to. And he's also some sweet bones, which, you know, I'd like to see Mummy get to Legendary by the end of this run, but who knows if that's going to happen. It's always a risk until. There's also a thing going on in this map where the enemies hit you and they debuff you, and you slowly take more and more damage. So this is the real meat grinder of the game, this part. And it's the last real meat grinder, to be perfectly honest, because after you beat the next boss, the technically last stage is more of a boss fountain, in case you have items that let you get life back from defeating enemies. So that's what that is. But there's a lot of unique enemies here that just do really wild and bombastic stuff, like statues and upgraded priests that just do massive bullet hells, upgraded maid ladies that summon more people, all sorts. I'm somehow running it through with the life I have here, but you quickly get, you know, small cuts to defeat you, and more. Now I'm taking 70% extra damage, so I really hope I come across a fountain to cleanse myself of it soon. And there's literal fire raining from the heavens. What a sick background though, that sunset. And they've chosen not to give me a thing. Oh, but we're on the boss now, so at least I get cleansed there. But I'm on the boss with 16 health, so I'm definitely losing life here. There's not much I can do about it. But these fountains, they cleanse you of the debuff that the area puts on you. Who is it? Oh, it's the priestess, or the cleric, I should say. I wonder if it's the person you fight in the first fight. I guess it is. I guess whoever you defeat in the first round comes back to get revenge on you. Because that's what the hero said when you first played through this. The sword hero is like, I come back after being defeated by a lowly skeleton. So what this boss likes to do is tons of area denial. She also heals herself, and generally her attacks hit hard, but they're reasonably easy to avoid if you're not being stupid. So now she's teleported to the other side of the screen, and I'm kind of just stuck here as far as I know. I've only fought the cleric once, so I'm not all that used to her moveset. But look, she's just done so much area denial on me here, because if you walk through these you take damage. And now she's shooting stuff at me. And now she's just made the fall horrible. And I'm just kind of stuck over here waiting to get to the other side. There we go. And now I can actually do some damage onto her. And I'm just going to unload because I'm going to lose my life, I'm so sure. But I'm just going to keep unloading with her. And I don't think you can't shoot through that massive hill when she makes it in the middle, so that's an annoyance. But I am doing... Oh, get out, get out. No, move. I am doing reasonable damage to her. Well, that was my life gone, so I'm now onto my last life. Which is one of the more broken things you can get at the beginning, along with selling stuff. I'm hoping I can just outspam her before she teleports to the up. Nah, she's gone. I am damaging this wall. Can I break this wall without dying from all this stuff? Oh, you can. You can break down the wall. I didn't actually know that, and it stuns her. Wow, that's a new mechanic I didn't know about. So there you go. You want to be stunning her then when you want to be trying to take that wall down ASAP then. So that's the trick for her. Oh, I completely missed out on that. We got it through. I got a reasonable amount of life, but Flame Dragon. He's probably going to be better than Imps. Sorry, Imps, you've taken me a far away, but I think Flame Dragon's going to be where to go because he gives me a straight up magic boost. Goodbye, Imps. Oh, it's this room. I like these rooms. They're annoying because you have to get through the barrier by taking out enemies to get over here, so you can actually hurt this annoying. At least it's just a slashy guy who's easy to avoid. If it was the assassin boss, he's a nightmare. But these guys are hilarious. Look, so these guys like to play peekaboo with you. So if you're looking at them, they don't do nothing, and so you just kind of like got to keep looking. But if you turn away, they like creep up to you ever so slowly and try to pounce on you. Like, gonna get you, and then you look out and they're like, I didn't move. Like they're pretending to be statues. It's funny. But yeah, a lot of stages have this gimmick of there's a thing that provides a shield, and you need to take out the thing that's making the shield come up. And once you do that, you can defeat that one last enemy. It's pretty. I think the enemies are kind of random, so it's pretty annoying when they put it on somebody particularly tough, like a summoner or an assassin, because the assassins are all over the place and they do actually hurt quite badly. And the summoners will summon extra ads, which just make things more annoying. You don't have to kill the ads to get through the gate, but you know. But I've actually lucked out with a pretty reasonable room here. I just need to play it safe. But anyway, this is a gimmick we're going to see in the boss as well, so hopefully I survive long enough to show that. Okay, so here we be at the get cleansed there. That's the thing that cleanses you, by the way. I don't know if I brought that up earlier, but when you get your debuff. I think I did, yeah. But here we be. We're at the courtyard. Very Castlevania of them. I love how the moon has now set, like, and we haven't got the burning sun anymore, and it's become this like kind of night rush one. I think that happened during the hero fight, but yeah, here's Saint Joan 2. I'll Saint Joan the second. I don't know why I say Saint Joan 2, but yeah, she's got the shield gimmick that I was just talking about earlier, and you got ads to compete with, but you want to commit as much damage to these pillars as possible. I'm not confident enough in this fight, having only done it like. I mean, I've done it quite a lot actually, but I'm just not that confident in it. I kind of come in here, by the time I'm this point, I'm so powerful, I just try to out damage these enemies here. If there's something unique that shows on, like this statue, I will go out my way to dodge it, but I've only got my second life anymore, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to last in this fight. I'm going to do my best, but like I say, I'm quite a spammy player, so I'm not actually that good, just to show that anyone who's not even that great can play this game. Bit of life. Get the dragon in here. No, please. And that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. As you can see, that's my 57th death. Completed the game maybe 1 or 2 times. But it's super fun, and I do think anyone who picks this up won't regret it. Especially if you like roguelikes of this style, or if you just like platforms. Like I said, I'm not a huge roguelike player, but I still really enjoyed this game. So pick it up. Check out Beazle as well, whose channel I'll link in the description. He's a pro player. If you want to see some actual skill at someone playing this game, check him out. He's not a huge channel, but I've really enjoyed his videos since I've gotten into this game. I'll pick this up every now and then, and I'll try and get most of the skulls unlocked because that's content that I enjoy. And yeah, thanks for watching, and this is just a one-off. I'm not going to be doing more of these. I'm sorry that I'm just not. Catch you later.